Squirrel returns to her savior to give her an amazing gift. What would you do if a baby squirrel showed up on your front porch? This is what happened to a woman named Simone Serpentine, and she decided to take the crying baby squirrel into her house. Little did Serpentine know, but this baby squirrel would bring her an amazing gift in the months that followed. This is the baby squirrel that showed up on Serpentine's front porch. The poor baby squirrel was crying non-stop, and the woman knew that she had to do something about it, so she took the scared animal into her home. The woman didn't only take the baby squirrel into her home, but she also named it Dingatchee. Therefore, the woman became the squirrel's surrogate mother, and this is where our story starts. To the woman's surprise, taking care of the baby squirrel was not as easy as it seemed. The woman needed to wake up multiple times overnight to feed Dingatchee so that it would stop crying. Although this wasn't the hardest part about raising Dingatchee. Dingatchee was super scared to be left alone, and the woman had no other choice than to take the squirrel with her to work. This was a bit difficult at first because Dingatchee would run around the workplace and never stay quiet. But then, even though the woman loved having Dingatchee around, she knew that she needed to release her into the wild when she's a full-grown adult. As heartbreaking as it is, Serpentine had no other option than to let Dingatchee run to the forest. Serpentine and her boyfriend lived next to a wildlife park, and this made it easy for them to find a spot to release Dingatchee. How do you think Dingatchee reacted to being released into the wild? Serpentine and Dingatchee said their goodbyes, and the squirrel was all set to go. However, this is not where our story ends. Keep watching to find out what happens next. It didn't take long for Dingatchee to come back to Serpentine's house. The woman was left in awe when she saw this, but she was happy that Dingatchee still cared for her. But what was the tiny animal doing there? Serpentine gave Dingatchee something to eat, and the cute squirrel ran into the forest once again. This is when Serpentine came up with this brilliant idea. Seeing how Dingatchee always came back to visit, Serpentine decided to leave her window open so the squirrel could come into the house. Serpentine had no idea what the squirrel would bring into her home. 1 week after Serpentine left the window open, Dingatchee showed up pregnant. The woman knew that the squirrel needed help giving birth, and that's why she came to her house. You won't believe what Serpentine did next. The woman put up lots of tissues together and created a warm bed where Dingatchee could have her baby. What do you think the baby was, a boy or a girl? With the help of Serpentine, Dingatchee had a baby girl. Aren't they just the most adorable squirrels you ever saw? Serpentine and her boyfriend quickly realized that Dingatchee and her newborn baby are not planning to leave the house anytime soon. Luckily, the couple already knew how to take care of a baby squirrel and were prepared. Taking care of 2 squirrels is not an easy task because the couple needed to feed them and clean them. Fortunately, Serpentine and her boyfriend were more than happy to do it. Serpentine says that even though Dingatchee and her newborn baby kept her up all night long, it was all worth it because they're the cutest animals ever. The next picture will bring a smile to your face. The one on the left is Dingatchee, and the baby squirrel on the right is her daughter, Tinny. The next picture is even more adorable than this one. Serpentine says that her heart melts whenever she sees Dingatchee and Tinny running around the house. Although who can blame Serpentine for falling in love with these 2 baby squirrels? Serpentine wanted to make sure that baby Tinny knows her home is a loving and safe place, so she bought her lots of little toys to cuddle with. Isn't Serpentine amazing? What did you think of this incredible story? I bet Serpentine and her boyfriend had no idea what they were getting into when they first started taking care of Dingatchee. However, it was all worth it in the end.